Welcome back to my channel. If you're a loyal subscriber, thank you for your continuous support. And if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I've got some exciting content lined up for you. I release new videos every week filled with knowledge that can help you build your career as a software engineer and get closer to landing your dream job. But let's get the exciting part of today's video. We're diving into the world of Spring Boot 3. If you've been keeping an eye on the Spring ecosystem, you know that they've made some significant changes, deprecated a bunch of classes and methods, and even removed a few. Now, before we embark on this journey of upgrading Spring Boot, do me a favor. If you're excited about this video and want to support me, hit the thumbs up button. Right now, it helps me immensely and sharing is caring, so don't forget to share this video with your fellow tech enthusiasts. After releasing my Spring Security with JWT tutorial, I received numerous comments and messages from you, my awesome viewers. So you pointed out some of the deprecations that had crept into Spring Security. Thank you for being so engaged and keeping me in the loop. That's why we're here today, to tackle these deprecations head on. But wait, this is not going to be your typical upgrade guide where I just show you what to do. I'm going to take you through it step by step, and I will show you how I would do it the real world developer way. Well, not only upgrade, but also tackle those deprecations like a seasoned software engineer. And if you want to take your skills to the next level, make sure to check out my website. I've got premium courses there that can help you become a Spring Boot master in no time. The link is in the description below, so don't miss out on that opportunity. So with all that said, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Without further ado, let's dive into the exciting world of upgrading to Spring Boot 3.1. Taking on those deprecations. It's going to be an awesome ride, so stay tuned till the end. But first, before we begin, make sure you've got your coding environment ready and your thinking cap on because we're about to embark on a coding adventure. Are you ready? Let's get started. Before we start and before beginning the upgrade of the Spring Boot version, first let me give you some hints. So for the people who check this video for the first time, first of all, I want to tell you that the source code is available in my GitHub account. So all you need to do is to search Ali-Bouali on GitHub and you will find my profile here. Then you can go to repositories and then all you need to do is to search for JWT. And the project is this one, so Spring Boot 3 JWT Security, and then you can check the different commits if you don't start from this video. Otherwise, if this is the first video that you see about Spring Security, I want to invite you to check the first video that I released, and all you need to do is again to go to my YouTube channel and then click on playlists right here, and you will find everything organized in different playlists, and the security is already in the Spring Security playlist. So click on view full playlist and then scroll down. You will find them organized by the release date. So it was the second video from the bottom. So it's called Spring Boot 3.0 Secure API with JWT token. So now we can go ahead and start upgrading our project. So now I will show you and guide you how I would do the upgrade from scratch. So first thing, I will go to start.spring.io and check what is the latest stable version of Spring Boot. So here, as we can see, the 3.2 is still a snapshot and the latest available one and stable one is the 3.1.4. So we will be using this one. Also, it's important to check the Java version supported or the minimum required Java version for this Spring Boot version. So as we can see here, the 3.1.4 requires minimum Java 17. So now when we check our code, we will see if we have all the requirements to upgrade to 3.1.4. So let's go ahead and start the upgrade. Now in our IntelliJ or in your IDE, the first thing that you need to do is to open this pom.xml file, and now let's start upgrading. So the first thing you need to check is the version right here. So you have the parent, it's Spring Boot and Spring Boot starter parent, and then we have the version. So here we need to change this one to 3.1.4, and then all you need to do is to check if you have the correct Java version or not, which is the minimum required that we already saw on the Spring Initializer website. So once you change this, all you need to do is to click here to load the Maven changes, or right click inside this file and then Maven, and then reload project. So now as you can see, it will start downloading and indexing all the files. So once you upgrade the version, now we can move on to the code and check what has changed. So the first thing I would do, I will try to build the project and see if everything is fine and everything is building correctly. So far everything is good. So now let's move on to our security configuration file. So open this one right here, and as you can see here we have some red lines. So they are not errors, but they are just deprecations. So if you highlight it, you see here that CSRF or the cross-site resource forgery is deprecated and marked for removal. So here replace with this http security.csrf and so on and so forth. But personally I wouldn't do it this way. So what I would do is first I will control and click on this method right here to go to the documentation. If you didn't download before the documentation, you will have a pop-up right here and click on download resources. And then I will start reading to know a little bit about the CSRF protection, what is it about. And here you see that it's already deprecated and for removal in 7.0. And then it says use CSRF customizer or CSRF customizer with defaults if you want to stick to the default implementation. Alright, also here we can see this deprecated annotation and the flag removal or for removal equals true. This means that this one will be removed. Alright, so now how I would check this? So I would click Control and click CSRF with this customizer, and now we have our customizer. So the customizer will be using something called CSRF configurer, and then if you scroll up you will see that this CSRF configurer class already extends something called abstract HTTP configurer. And again, if you navigate to this one, so the first thing that you will see is this disable method. And then if we read the documentation here, it disables the abstract HTTP configurer by removing it. After doing so, a fresh version of the configuration can be applied. So which is this thing that we want to do right here. So now I will just delete this .disable, and then I will use the abstract HTTP configurer and then disable. So in this way, I just disabled the CSRF check. So then we have these authorized HTTP requests. So the first thing I would do, I will just extract these URLs right here to a constant. So I will just hit Command Option and then C. Also, you can see always the shortcuts that I'm using right here if you are a Mac user or whether a Linux or a Windows user. So I will just extract it to here. I will call it white list URLs. And then I will choose the visibility private, and the constant type will be of type string. So I will click OK. And as you can see here, I have this whitelist. All right. So now we still have these authorized HTTP requests. So again, let's do the same. So here we see that it's deprecated and also marked for removal true. And then it also mentioned that use the authorized request with a customizer. So the customizer is just a lambda expression. So what I will do just rec and then lambda expression. So I just removed, so let me do it again. So here I just removed this closing parenthesis and then replaced it with rec and then lambda expression. And finally here, after this any request.authenticated, I will close these parentheses, and now I will format my code. Okay, so again, I will just clean up this one. So if you want to have the code for this one, you can check it from the previous videos, or you can also find it on my GitHub, as I mentioned in the beginning. So I will just try to organize a little bit this one. So here, as I mentioned, it should be a lambda expression, and then it should be request or this rec variable dot request matchers, and here I have my whitelist. I want it to be permit all, and then I have the rest of my security configuration, which is this one. So we are also done with this part. So the second point now is no longer deprecated. So let's move on to the session management part. So for the session management, in the same way, so it will be something like this. So as you can see here, this AND keyword is no longer there. It's no longer available with the HTTP security class. So I will just remove it. So here with the session management, I will also use a Lambda expression in here. And all I need to do is to take this one, I will cut it, and then session dot this one. All right. So for this, I will also import it as static, just to gain some place here. So the session management is also done. I will also remove this AND keyword. And now we have the authentication provider. We can also add a filter. So this one is not a problem. Now the last thing that we need to handle is the logout. In the same way, so I will create a Lambda expression. So logout, and then I will just do the following. So here I will just move all these 3 lines inside, like this, and then I will just write logout in here. So I don't need it here, and I also don't need it here. So just deleting this one. So it's in this way. I will format the code again. So for the logout, all you need to do is to use the Lambda expression, and then the configuration you put it inside. So logout.url. So this is our logout URL, our logout handler, and our logout success handler. So in this way, we just upgraded everything. So now I will just optimize my imports and check and format everything. So of course, after upgrading and doing these changes, we need to make sure that our application is still running correctly without any problem. So the next step is, let's go ahead and test these changes and make sure that our application is still secured and everything is still working as expected. Once you're done with the upgrade, first thing, just start your application and make sure that everything starts fine and the application is up and running, which is the case for us right here. So if you remember from the previous videos, and also you can again check the playlist, you will see when we displayed this admin token and manager token. All right, so now I can stop the application, and for testing the application this time, I won't be using Postman. I will be using something different, and also I want to have your feedback in the comments if you like this way or this new way of testing, and it's really helpful and useful if you want also to implement end-to-end testing. So if you are interested in this one, just drop a comment and I will make a video or a special video explaining this one in details. So first, let me give you an avant-goût, as we say in French. So it's a first taste or like a before taste, and then let's create a new folder here, and I will call it HTTP or HTTP test. You can call it as you want, and inside I will right click and then new, and you see here that you have HTTP request or a file of type HTTP request. So just go ahead and click on that one, and let's call it test or HTTP test dash test, something like that. You can call it whatever you want. And now in this HTTP file, what we can do, we can create and write queries that will test or will connect automatically or connect to our backend. All right. So here, the first thing that you need to do, first you need 3 dashes, and this will be the title of the first request. So let's say register a user. So the first thing I want to do is to register a user, all right? And then I want to specify the verb or which method I want to use, the HTTP method. So for registering a user, I need the post, and then I need my URL. So it's http:// and then localhost 8080 and then /API/v1. And as you can see, IntelliJ is already suggesting all the endpoints that are available right here. So the one we want to test is /auth/register. Then we need to provide the content type. So content-type, and then it's application/JSON. So you can select this one. And after that, we need to pass a body. So the body we can pass it in this way. So just to remind you, let's open our controller here, and as you can see in this auth controller, we pass an authentication request, which is sorry, not the authentication request, but the register request. And this register request, we need these fields right here. So I'll just copy them. And now I will paste these attributes in my body right here. So just paste them, and then I will use the shortcuts to make it this way. And now I will just fill in the values. So the first name will be Ali, and then Bu Ali. And for the email, I will say alibu@mail.com. And then we have a password. Let's make it a password. And for the role, for example, I can say it's an admin. All right. So now all I need to do is to run this query right here and make sure that everything is working fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it. So, but before that, we need to run our application. So let's make sure the application is up and running, which is the case right here. I can move this one back, and now I will run this one. So here, as you can see, so this one, register user, is green and it's returning our 200. Okay. So then I want to perform another action. So I will add 3 hashtags right here. And now let's say, for example, the next one, query the test controller or test endpoint. Okay. Or the demo endpoint. All right. So again, in the same way, so it will be a get. So here you need to make sure, it's really important to mention. So if you don't use these 3 dashes right here, you will see that it will not recognize this query. Okay. So you must have these 3 hashtags right here. All right. So then we want to do a get, and I can copy this one. And then I need my demo controller, and that's it. And afterwards, I need to pass my authorization. So the authorization, as you remember, with Postman, we know we go to authorization, and then we specify the authorization as a bearer token. So it's a bearer token, and now all I need to do is to pass the bearer token. But from where to get the bearer token? We need to get it from the previous request. Okay. So to do so, you can do it in this way. Just use this mark right here, and then space, and then colons. And then all we need to do is to use 2x%. So now it looks exactly this way. So now, as you can see it, it's in yellow. And then all I need to do is to do client.global. It's global.set. So in this way, I can set a variable. So I will call it auth token. Auth-token, and from where I will get this one, so it will be from an object called response.body, and then .access token, access_token. And I know that it's called access_token because in my authentication controller, I know that I have an object called authentication response that contains 2 elements. 2 attributes, access token and refresh token. And here I have my JSON property, which is access_token. So that's why I copied this one. All right. So here I have my access token. And then after that, because I don't want to hard code my token, I will just pass it in this way as auth token. Now, what we need to do is just to run these 2 requests together. So I will just change the email from Alibu to Alibu2 or 21 or something like that, just to avoid duplications in the database. And all I need to do is to click on run all requests in file. So let's go ahead. And as you can see, both requests are green. So the first one responded with 200, and the second one also responded with 200. And as you can see here, response file saved. So the response was saved into a file .txt, and when we open it, we will see here hello from secured endpoint. In this way, we made sure that our application is still up and running. Also, if you want to, we can check the database and check the users that we have. So this is the latest one that we just created with the role admin and so forth. Now, our application is working fine, and now it's already upgraded to Spring 3.1.4. That was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned the way how to upgrade and also how to learn from the official documentation. So it was really nice having you today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed, and also hit the thumbs up button so we can help this video reach as max as possible of tech enthusiasts. Thank you so much, and before that, go ahead and check my website, check the courses that I have there, and see you next time.